Hey folks, Goshawk here working on a U.S. Navy T-45 Goshawk. It's a 64mm version that I picked up on eBay via Hobby King for 50 bucks. I just couldn't pass it up. Of course, it wasn't fully assembled. It wasn't one of those already to fly. So I'm having to put it all together. But because of that, I decided to go ahead and add flaps to it. I've cannibalized a jet that I did have that I was flying, which I wrecked. It was just one of those deals that happened one day, and I figured, you know, I'm going to go ahead and cannibalize the parts and do something with them. So here I went ahead and added the servos for the flaps, and of course the aileron servos. Now the trailing edge kind of flapper-on system was fairly long, and I decided to just kind of nip it there about 5.5 inches. Now, where the control horns are currently located, the ones on the ailerons, I think they'll be okay. I wasn't too satisfied with where I put the control horn for the flaps, but you know, that's where I found the most meat, if you will. I'm just going to rotate this. So that's why I decided to put it there. And for its function, I think I should be okay. Now, I wanted to show you a technique that that I'm sure a lot of you have used, and it involves an X-Acto knife and maybe a speed square that's made out of metal. And the reason why I say metal is because once I score where I'm gonna, you know, make my incision with the hot tip iron, it just provides a really good reference point. Now it's going to be very, very hard to demonstrate how I'm going to do this because I'm trying to hold my phone camera and trying to make an incision. But this is the area that the landing gear is going to be placed, so I don't mind kind of using this as an area to show you how this iron has worked for me. Just kind of bring it here and line it up and just kind of make a cut like that, and you'll see that it made a fairly decent wide cut. There you go. You can see it smoking a little bit. They almost look like claw marks. I don't mind doing this to this area because I'm going to cover it with some plastic landing pad, you know, pads that go right here. So it's kind of like my test area to show you. Anyway, it's fairly hot. I got it set to 800 degrees, and it's almost as if I'm cauterizing like a wound. I feel like a surgeon. Anyway, it worked perfect for creating kind of like the trenches for the wiring. It's not the most beautiful thing, but hey, this thing is going to be in the air. I'm a retired Air Force crew chief, and there's nothing worse than having a static display for a plane. Them things just need to be in the freaking air. So anyway, just wanted to show that to you. And I got this, let's see here, Pro servo tape. It's 1 inch by 36 inches long, so it's a fairly long strip of red tape. It's a removable silicone adhesive type tape. So my friend at the hobby store says that if you use it and decide to relocate a servo, or you need to replace a servo, you can go ahead and remove the tape. Remove the tape from the servo or from the wing. And wash it with warm water and soap, let it dry, and you can reuse it. But man, since I'm dealing with a servo and a flight control surface, I think I'm just going to go with a brand new piece of tape. But in a crunch, hey, it's going to work out. Okay, so the idea is to, after installing the servo, I'm going to go ahead and silicone in with some GE silicone that I got at Home Depot. That is safe for this foam, and then I'm going to paint the entire wing a certain color. And I'm thinking about going with the BAE British Hawk paint scheme. Even though I like the U.S. Navy trainer paint scheme, I'm more of a combat jet crew chief type guy, so I always have liked a camo pattern. So anyway, this is the project that I'm working on. I'm also gonna get some heat shrink. I'm gonna take all these wires and kind of do some cable management, heat shrink that together, and we should be good to go. And hopefully at some point I'll have a really nice flight review, maiden flight review with this T-45 Goshawk. Oh, and since we're at it, I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you, since I no longer need these pieces, because this is where the original layout for the servo arms were gonna be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like cut that off. There we go. This is a really good example. I'll just go ahead and, you know, shave this off with my hot iron tip. And I feel like one of those plastic surgeon doctors. And everything's being cauterized, and it's smoking. Oh, and by the way, I'm working in a very well ventilated area. So my advice is to have some type of respiratory mask so that you're not inhaling any of these fumes. And you should be okay. But I'm working in a very well ventilated area, and hopefully I won't become hypoxic and, you know, collapse here in my my third car garage. So anyway, there it is. Yeah, see, it's kind of smoking there. Well, thanks for watching, and good luck with any of your wing projects, and have a great day.